Good afternoon. We are live here on a Saturday doing what we do best, and that is spotlight local candidates. My name's Holly Holiday, and I'm the president of Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote, and also the co convenor of Win with Black Women. And we're doing this joint project to make sure that we can bring to you dynamic, fantastic local candidates from around the country. Just a little bit about why we support Black women, especially up and down the ticket. You all know a lot about some of the folks that are running, some of the Black women that are running for office this year, especially. Sure, I suspect you've heard about Kamala Harris running for president. I suspect you've heard about the three Black women running for Senate in Indiana, Maryland, and Delaware. But what do you know about the people running for state legislature in your own state? What do you know about the people running for school board in your own state? Hell, what do you know about the people running for city council in your own state? And did you know that for many states, there are a lot of Black women on the ballot? And so that's what this spotlight is designed to do, to make you aware of Black women running locally. That's right, you have Black women's leadership right there in your own backyard. We, Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote, has put out three things to kind of help guide you along the process to understand, and I would say, understand and recognize the landscape of Black women's candidacy in the 2024 election. Did you know that we actually started this year out with more than 1,100 Black women on the ballot? That's right, more than 1,100 Black women. And I know the next question you have is, well, Holly, where the hell are these Black women and how do we find them? Well, the good news is that we done found them and we done put it in a place that you can locate. So first and foremost, if you go to sistersleadsistersvote.org at any time and you click on that Black Women Ran tab, actually you can access it right from our homepage. You can go to a map, and that map will pull up all the Black women who were on the ballot this year. For those people who have already, whose races have already terminated, you can see what happened in their race. For those people who continue on to the general election ballot, you can see where they are. And you can also then go to our general election yearbook. Yep, go to our general election yearbook and find every woman who will be on the ballot this November by state. So you can choose your state and you can find out about all the fabulous Black women running. Little known fact, we had Black women running in nearly every state this year. So most of you will see Black women on the ballot in your state. And if you didn't, well, you know that's where we got some work to do. And so think about how you can take advantage of that Black woman who's in your community, that's leading your neighborhood association, that's part of your PTA, that is leading in a civic or social organization. These are some of the people that are ripe for political leadership, and maybe they'll be on your ballot next year. The final thing is, maybe you want to know where we stand so far this year as it relates to Black women candidates. Well, we got that too in the form of our mid-year report. And you can check all of that out at our website, Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote. But today's assignment is very clear. We are here to introduce to some and reintroduce to others an amazing woman running for the Florida State Senate in Florida. Her name is Stephanie L. Dukes, and let's bring her on up to the stage. Hello, how are you?
Hello, Holly. We're doing wonderful. We're recovering here in Florida from our
Yeah,
two hurricanes, but we're moving right along.
I love it. And I love that you have the little map in your background there. Tell us where we can find District 13.
District 13 is located in the central part of Florida. It is Lake County, all of Lake County in the southwest portion of Orange County.
All right. So now we know where to find you. Let's find out a little bit more about you. So, the way this works, and I'm telling this to our live studio audience, and feel free to drop us a line. We'd love to hear what you think. And if you have thoughts about what's happening in Florida. We'd love to hear about it. Yep, greetings. Hi, Marilyn. We see you. Appreciate you joining us. We have folks joining and they're giving us the thumbs up. So we certainly appreciate that. So we do this in a 3-question format, and this is designed in a little bit of time to find out a whole lot of information because that's how we like to do it here. So let's start with our first question. Our first question is real simple. Why are you running? Why are you running for State Senate District 13? Let us know all about it.
Okay, first I want to say thank you. Thank you for this opportunity and for supporting us women that have wanted to take the issues off the table and get them out there in the community. What made me run for office was I was talking with my mother, and we were talking about an issue here in Lake County, and we were talking about a bronze Confederate statue of the General Kirby Smith, and which was voted on by the citizens of Lake County and the state of Florida, really, to replace, which was being replaced by Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune. And it had been voted that that statue was going to come here to Lake County. Well, my mother reminded me that I was talking about this issue that a young lady by the name of May Hazelton had done a protest about, and she had to go to another county, our adjoining county, Orange County, to get a representative, Senator Geraldine Thompson, to help her organize a protest. My mother said, well, you've talked about that twice now, and you know when we talk about something like that in this family, it's called gossiping unless you do something about it. So I had to shut up, meet with the political committee, and decided to sign up and run for office to challenge the status quo in the political arena, to let them know that this was not the Lake County that I had moved here and retired and seen, that I had the conversations I was hearing about social justice, health equity, education, and economic empowerment. That no, what that statue did not represent that. That statue represented people who was talking about racism, economic inequality, and that I was not going to allow that conversation to be silent in the political arena. So I signed up and ran in the political arena to represent.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That's amazing. And I mean, this is the kind of people that we look for in our leaders, people who stand up, people who say, you know what, not on my watch. There's something I can do to impact that. And we have a little show of support from Maryland saying, thank you for representing Florida needs you. All right.
Thank
So
you, Marilyn.
you have that support. So listen, question number 2
Mhm.
is what issue do you most want to impact? What is the issue that you're like, I really want to do something about this, and who's in the way of that impact that you seek to make? Who I should say who or what?
Oh, wow. I hope I can do this one without crying.
Oh,
I'm a retired educator. And my story with education is I actually ran from education because my family is a family of educators. And growing up, all I saw was my family giving our resources
look at the
to
bone.
education. And I decided I did not want to give my resources to education, that I was going into business because that's what I wanted. I wanted to hold on to my resources. And little did I know that God had a different plan. He said, okay, it will take you the long way around. Well, long way around, I ended up in education through volunteering, where I ended up working. I ended up joining the Junior Women's League and in Tallahassee, Florida, and ended up volunteering and ended up on the education committee. And the principal at the school I volunteered for offered me a ridiculous salary, and I ended up working for him because the salary was ridiculous. I thought I was giving him a ridiculous counter offer, and he came back ridiculously. But education, and with education, I would say equality, because in getting into education, I voted for the lottery in Florida, thinking that it was going to give money to education. And what we have learned with the legislators here in Florida is we will pass initiatives as voters, and then the legislative body will change the will of the voters. We passed the lottery to enhance education. And then what the legislative body did was to take the money and then remove the current funding that they were funding education with, and then move that money elsewhere, and then allow the lottery only to fund education. So that put our education system right back where it was, not enhancing it financially. So my thing became education, that we should have an equity system. We have formulas here that fund our education system based on your zip code. We have a system here that funds scholarship, that puts money into private schools, and do not put money into public schools. And when you ask the question, who's in the way? When you look at the laws, this is who's in the way. I'm a child of segregation who went into integration. And this is what I was told, and this is what I see that is happening now. A teacher told me, Brown versus the Board of Education says you have to be here, but that doesn't mean that I have to teach you. She put the white children around her desk and taught them, and she gave the rest of us copies of busy work to do. And that's what I see that has happened to our system. The public school has given our children busy work to do. And our system has ended up publicly in the shams that it is in. And they have taken our public money and moved it to private schools. I want to change it and make it equitable. No matter what the circumstances you start off in, all children deserves the rights to be taught. All children. An equitable educational system. That is why education is my priority.
I love that. And I love this. I'm so glad that we're getting this education. And by the way, shout out to Valerie, who says North Carolina did the same thing. Teachers were supposed to get raises. Schools were supposed to be funded based on student need as opposed to schools' zip code. And
Mm-hmm.
so this is not only an issue that is important in Florida, but apparently around the country. And here's what I really love. One, I love that you bring a personal experience to this. But two, I love that you understand the bait and switch of it all. And I
Mm-hmm.
suspect that just in sharing that, you were really able to elevate an important issue for voters already. And this is why I say to people, being in the race is leadership all by itself. Winning is the elevation of that leadership. But here's what I really, really, really want to point out to people, because as we do a lot of work with the presidential race and with the Senate and the Congress, people are always asking, well, why don't we talk about education? Well, we do talk about education, but honestly, you want to know the people who have the most impact on your educational product? State legislators, state senators, like you would be voting for if you voted for Stephanie L. Dukes. Those are the people who really get to weigh in on what happens in your state related to your education system. So these are the folks that you need to find out about. And I mean, if Stephanie hasn't demonstrated her knowledge and expertise, I don't know if you really understand what you need to be looking at. Because this is where the funding is controlled, the standards are controlled, and how things really, as they say, the rubber meets the road right through the state legislature. Thank you, Stephanie, for that. So, listen, I want to give you a chance to brag a little bit about your district and show a little district pride. So, question number three for us is quite simply,
Mhm.
assume I have never been to your district. Tell me something that makes you proud or excited about what's going on in your district, in District 13 in Florida.
Okay. Outside of the 320 average sunny days that we have in District 13, we
300.
include Disney World, whose motto is the most magical place on earth. Florida State Senate District 13 is indeed where dreams come true. Over 100 Olympians have trained here in the city of Claremont, whose motto is the choice of champions. We even have a subdivision that is coming here to our city that is called Olympian City, just outside of Walt Disney's gates. We have the city of Mineola, which is the gateway to Claremont chain of lakes. Lake County has approximately 1,400 lakes. The city of Lady Lakes is the home of the lakes, especially our Harris chain of lakes, which hosts professional bass fishing tournaments, highlighting the lakefront city of Leesburg and its neighboring Tavares, which is the American seaplane city. Fly those planes right on in here and land on our lakes. If shopping, antique arts, and music festivals are what you're looking for, the someplace special city of Mount Dora is your choice. America's hometown city of Eustis, and a family friendly hometown known as Astatula, and the friendly city of Fruitland Park may be somewhere you want to look also. You like farmers markets and craft markets? Those are available also in the environmental a winning city of Groveland, which is the city of the natural charm. Howdy in the Hills in the heart of Central Florida, and the friendly city of Mascot. Yes, Lake County is just that, your friendly place to live. Mount Verda is the exquisite place to be, for there is where we connect with nature. We have state parks for camping, and guess what? We have a city called Umatilla that is a natural hometown for exploring. And then we have Winter Garden that is in nowhere else but Orange County. It's a charming little town with a juicy past. Hmm. Come on down and give us a visit. I know you'll want to stay.
I love it. That was amazing. Listen, we got folks talking about they ready to pack their bags and come on down to District 13. That was amazing. Yes, people were saying yes. We're getting all the hearts and the thumbs up. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. If that didn't make you want to go and visit District 13, I can only imagine what it is to be a resident there. So special shout out to the residents of Florida State Senate District 13. Please recognize that Stephanie L. Dukes is on your ballot for the Florida Senate, and go ahead and look her up. We have lots of information, but you can also reach out to her directly. Vote for Dukes _4. That's the number 4 Florida on Facebook and Instagram. And vote Stephanie Dukes for Florida, 4 spelled out FOR, Florida, on her website. So you know what to do once you get there. Don't just be a voyeur. Don't just take a look. Make sure you donate. Make sure you volunteer. Make sure you figure out how you can get engaged with this amazing Black woman running for the Florida Senate. One last thing, we know that she said the Chamber of Commerce should clip that and make that a whole commercial. And you know what? You might decide to do that as well, just to talk about how fantastic District 13 is. Well, I want to appreciate you.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Holly.
much for being a part of our Candidate Spotlight this afternoon. I hope that this was as much fun for you as it was for us. And clearly, the people are really into it. So if you are into it, you know what to do. Make sure you like and share, tag, and follow all of us. That is both Sisters Lead, Sisters Vote, and Win with Black Women. And of course, make sure that others see this video. Everybody knows somebody in Florida. Make sure if they live in District 13 that you are sharing this information with them and encouraging them to share with others. Well, I know you love this spotlight, and don't worry, we have a few more coming. The next one is going to be on October 22nd. We will be talking to Erica Wiley. Then we'll do another on October 24th. We got a few more coming up, and you do not want to miss any of them. We are in Florida today. Next time, we're going to go all the way to the West Coast and talk to a candidate in California. This has been amazing. Stephanie, thank you so much for doing this. Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank
And
you.
you're welcome. And we will see all of y'all next time. Don't forget, check it on us on Tuesday. Bye.